Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the replay where we're trying to make your day. I'm your host, Jabril Rashad, aka the real deal Jabril. And joining me to the stage this evening is none other than my guy, Daryl Alexander the Great. Good evening to you, my brother.
What's up? What's up, America?
Hey man, we here, man. We here. We didn't get a chance to get on here live Thursday yesterday due to some previous obligations, but we are here, man, this Friday live. And then I can't say in the flesh, but we are virtual, man. But we got to talk about some things that's been going on today, DA. But before we get into any of that, I want y'all to go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and share button and notification button for us because we are here growing this channel, the replay, where we're trying to make your day. DA, I got to get into. Normally we'll start off with sports, man, but I got to get into this thing, man. Got to get into this thing that we got going around with this P Diddy situation. I got definitely my views about it. Before we even talk about it, let me just bring up a video for those of you all who are joining us. Welcome, 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 welcome. We're gonna talk about this P Diddy and this Cassie Ventura incident. Well, you couldn't say incident, man. This thing I think been going on for a while, but they finally got the video out there and it done dropped. So this is what they've been showing today. And we're gonna run it back again. So we're gonna start it from the top. But I want to see this ending part. We're gonna talk about this and get into it, man. So this is them at the hotel room.
Yeah, I think this is the beginning right here.
Right.
Oh, it's that other side camera.
Yeah, that's her when she's trying to get on the elevator. He comes around the corner. Snatches the door to the ground, kicks her, then proceeds to drag her down the hallway. And I think she wound up going back. Right here is when she's going back, and he comes back. And of course, it's off camera. And of course, so we'll run that back when we have to, man. But I want to get into that because that's the thing that's been going on, that's been trending today, man. They finally got a release of this particular video by CNN. But D, I'm gonna come to you first and let you chime in on that, man, because I have my take on it too as well.
Man, you know, it's something about, you know, we can hear stuff like for decades we heard about police brutality. We just heard about it. You know, we kind of knew it was true, heard about it, see a movie or something every now and then, a remake. We never actually saw that actual video. But when during the cell phone era, this technology era, it's something about hearing something, and then when you actually see it, it just takes you to another level, man. Because we heard about all the things you could hear a million things he's done to her, but just that one video, just showing his rage and how he's, you know, kicking that young lady, man, while she was down, like dragging her around like a sack of potatoes, man. His goose is officially cooked. He is about to go bankrupt. He's gonna have to either leave. He's gonna have to leave the country and go hide out, or it's all, man. He's about to get his head chopped off. I don't mean that literally. I just mean, bro. People see the video now. How you just, I mean, when you kicking this lady while she's on the ground like that, man, that's just so disrespectful. I mean, you run out of your hotel room and just drag. I'm thinking he had probably been beating on her, and she was just trying to get out of there, and he was just gonna do whatever's in his power not to let her get out that room and get out that hotel or go report him, because he knew, you know, what was gonna come down. But man, to see that video, that dude is actually, and I've said it since day one, Jabril, you know, I've been saying it, man. I believe most of what I hear. You know, usually I don't believe stuff like that, but I just knew it was too many people saying it for too long. And I knew when the story came out, I'm like, man, ain't none of this made up. All this is true. And now this video is, that video has sunken his ship. I mean,
Yeah.
we have seen the beginning of the end of P. Diddy.
Sean P. Diddy Combs, right? And you know
Yes.
what, DA? You know, this kind of reminds me of the Ray Rice situation, right? It's
Yeah.
nothing like the visual aspect of it. This is not, you know, the 40s, the 50s, 60s, or even the 70s anymore. Nowadays, man, they have the footage, and like you said, going back to the police officer wearing the body cams and all that. So we can only imagine the things that have happened or took place over of a course of period of time in the dark, the things that never came to the surface. But you see something like this that's so egregious, you know, this act that was carried out upon Cassie, and you want to know why he settled real quick for that 30 million. Because this act took place back in 2016, right? And this is one of the things, as you see, as I have scrolling across the timeline here, I didn't say P. Diddy, I say P. Biddy, as in a bid. You know, is it over? That is the question. Is it over? Because you're talking about a bid now. And here's the thing I want people to understand out there. And you can put out in the comment if you got your views about this situation. We're talking about P. Diddy Combs and the tape that came out that was leaked out. And I think that was definitely done by design about the violence or the domestic violence against Cassie. The thing about it is, man, I asked this question: if CNN got their hands on this tape, and this happened back in 2016, how did they get it? That's the number one thing. How did they get this tape, and how were they able to leak it? Well, if you understand how the authorities work, it's simple. They just went back and just reviewed the deposition of what she settled on. All of her airing out her grievances behind closed doors. Of course, it's just like they say, you put stuff out there and it's in the cloud now. Well, that tape never went away. So normally, this is what lets me know why I say P. Diddy as opposed to P. Diddy. An indictment is going to come down. It's just a matter of when. They have up to 5 years just to do an investigation. The question becomes who else going to be involved in this whole investigation when the indictment do come down. If you think by osmosis that CNN got this document through the hotel, you're crazy. What this basically tells me, someone who's had to take on the United States government before, it simply tells me this is one of the strategies that they do. First, they allow you to put yourself out there because of public viewing or public consumption, right? That's the number one thing. They try to ruin and discredit you in the public view, so you won't have any people sympathizing with you. That's the number one thing. Then they come back and try to cripple you financially, because if they can freeze up your bank accounts, they know you have no way of paying your attorneys and whatever the case may be before the indictment do come down. So those are the two strategies that they do. They try to first paint a picture, a negative picture or image about you in public viewing for public consumption, so people can weigh in on it like they just did. So it's the same thing they did with Michael Jackson, same thing they did with R. Kelly. Okay, he's just in the hot chair right now, and so on and so forth. Next, they freeze your accounts. So my thing with Diddy, I don't know what illegal advice he's getting or whatever, but I would say definitely, man, save your money, put your money to the side, and if you can go leave the country the way Eric Snowden did when he went over to Russia and asked for citizenship, anybody that's not going to allow extradition back to the United States, that's where he may need to be trying to go. Because I'm telling you, man, this don't look good, and this is the reason why I'm saying I think it's over, man, in the public viewing, as well as the Sean Combs that we've come to know. And when someone asks me regarding my personal take on it, I just simply, repeated what I just said earlier. But also, anytime, man, that you violently, there shouldn't be, for me, there's no reason to ever hit a woman. But I will say there is a reason to shake a woman. And there is a difference. Because sometimes women can be very emotional and deranged, and they'll cause bodily harm to you by picking up some type of weapon or whatever the case may be. And
I've been there, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There is a case-by-case type basis where you have to counter. The word, it's a Semitic word called darabat. Darabat means to type. And how you hit the keyboard, you type lightly, right? There are instances where you can actually, hey, woman, get yourself back to, you losing your mind. Mm-hmm. But those are the only little small incidents, not to the point to where you got the situation under control and you literally kick or stomp or beat this woman as if she's a man. No, man, that's something that I could never tolerate. And we only seeing just one glimpse of what could have been. I forget how long she was with him, maybe 10 years or more, but just one glimpse of what possibly could have been going on in her life, and she was afraid to come out and talk about it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. She wasn't the only one. You know, it was rumors about how he abused Kim Porter. You know, it was rumors about he may even had something to do, with her death. Like, man, I'm telling you, man, this I don't put nothing past the dude. I'm telling you, my spirit is
Mm-hmm.
usually spot on with these things, and man, I got a bad vibe about that dude a long time ago. A long. Look at this, man. I ain't ever ran after nobody. But look at this. And then he kicks her again. Kicks her right here. God, oh. Then drags her like a say, bro.
And Cassie only weighs about 100, probably about 125 pounds, soaking wet.
Say,
You know what I mean?
Jabril, man. That's hard to watch. That's hard to watch.
You know,
Yeah,
it's just DA. It really reminds me of, honestly, man. It just reminds me of a time in which we're living in when it talks about, the commercial aspect of this and all this that's going on in Hollywood. That you can't serve two masters. You got
right.
to either be on the left side or the right side, but you
Yeah.
cannot serve two masters. We understand that commerce and a part of the whole regime of fame and fortune and all this other stuff. It's a false power or empowerment that people sometimes prep themselves up and believe that they really have.
Hmm.
It's only one that has all the power. You may have some limited power, but you don't have all the power. Unfortunately, you see it time and time again with individuals, man, they get souped up and drunk on their own ego.
And I sort of blame, and when I say us, I don't mean me and you, but I sort of blame the people a little bit for how entertainers and celebrities conduct themselves, because we idolize them, and I know I don't. I don't idolize people at
Right.
all. But
No,
a,
no,
but a
no,
lot,
no,
like a
no,
lot of
no
us,
ideology. Right.
yeah, a lot of us condone what 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 rappers and entertainers and athletes and politicians, we condone what they do because of some sort of hypnotic effect that they have on us. Like we can't call them out. If you call them out as, oh, you trying to take them down, or it's always us. Like, no, that's not us. When I
Right.
when I go out and talk about somebody, and they just happen to be black, because nobody's off limits to me. I'm like, that's not us. So I'm supposed to not say something about this because they black? No, that ain't what I'm about. It's like when he's doing something like this, everybody should have been screaming from the top of the mountaintop years ago, and it was only a few out of the thousands and probably thousands who witnessed this type of stuff. Only a few had the guts, to come out and say, I ain't afraid of him or what might happen or what y'all think. This dude is a monster. He's demonic. He's satanic. And he's doing this. I just want everybody to know. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but I'm standing on what's right. Those are kind of people I respect.
But those individuals are so far in between nowadays because, like you said, they uh are idolaters. They
Yeah.
don't think for whatever reason because this individual artist done starred in their favorite movie, or this particular artist
Can sing.
done sung a good song or rap a great
Yes.
song. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. When you're talking about morality, you're talking about human dignity, you're talking about human integrity. When you factor in all these things, that has absolutely nothing to do with it. And why would you want to dehumanize another individual that way, especially when it's a female? And again, I understand for those out there, the brothers who would say, well, man, women, they provoke you or they make you respond a certain way. I always say, listen, man, this thing's about self restraint, and it's about learning self restraint,
Yeah.
controlling your emotions. Women have an emotional. They're emotional creatures, and we all understand that they have an emotional makeup, an emotional nature. And if you know that, then it becomes incumbent upon the male to learn and ascertain as much knowledge as he can to understand that you could be in a fragile situation when a woman is when she's like that. And if you don't have any self-restraint or any control over yourself, man, you have to understand the rules of engagement. Because if you don't, you wind up in a situation like that. Because now they want to talk about, well, he was intoxicated and alcohol played a role in it. I'm saying, listen, man, what's in you is in you. It's gonna come out, whether you're sober or unconscious or conscious, whatever the case may be. I believe that what's ever in you, it can resurface or come to the top if you allow it. But if you ain't working on yourself trying to get better, because everybody is screaming your name and the media is, the paparazzi, they taking photos of you, they keep souping that ego up, feeding that ego. And what happens is kind of like the Gremlins. You remember the movie back in the day, the Gremlins?
Yeah.
It's how it won. They kept feeding and drinking and feeding. And they told them, gave them instructions. And for the women out there that are listening, I would simply say this to the ladies. You get signs. I guarantee you there was a sign way back that she got, but she chose to look the other way. Well, don't feed the gremlin, because one time is enough. I truly believe one time is enough. I teach it to my own daughter. My daughter's 25. I said, you don't have to stay in a situation like that. And I would tell any man, before you put you in, because I've never, my daughter in her 25 years of existence only had one spanking from me. And it was probably 5 licks with my hand. You understand? Never had no issue with her ever again. And she was young, probably around about 8 years old. If you got to hit her, then I'm just going to kindly ask you to give her back to me. Just bring her back to me.
Right.
You understand? And at the same time, I think we as men, we have to be able to articulate these things to our daughters about what is the actual natural role of a woman, and to be able to share with her what to do and what not to do, because you're not a man. You shouldn't put yourself in a man position. Don't walk up to a man like that as if you had to take him on one-on-one. See, you can't even look in a pit bull's eyes that long without a dog. If you look at a dog and staring a dog's eye, a dog think you are challenging him, and he'll get in the growl. You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand, man, the nature of some of these men, and understand what you're dealing with. Because a lot of women, they walk right into something, and it's something very, very unfortunate. But some of these guys don't have that self-restraint, and they wind up walking into something, man, that could be very, very detrimental, man, to their life. And seeing this, and Diddy, don't get me wrong, he's not the only one. Because you heard about I can only imagine Dr. Dre with Michelle later that she talked about. I mean, it's been a long laundry list of this stuff going on, man. They did a movie with Ike Turner and Tina Turner, you know what I mean? So it's been a long list of this going on in the African American community, and they're going to keep, videos always loop, and you're gonna see this time again and again and again, until it becomes like a indoctrination, where they're trying, on public opinion, they're trying to get people to discredit.
It's a wrap. Whatever they're trying to do, they just did it. Like they got us. Like we see, we heard about it, but man, we see. Even with Ike and Tina Turner. Even the movie, the reenactments wouldn't have come close, no matter how much blood and makeup they put on her and try to reenact them scenes. If we had seen something like that on video, knowing that that's real, man, we would have castrated Ike Turner decades ago. But it's just different now. When you can see this stuff on video, just like Rodney King, they've been beating brothers like that forever. Yeah. But to actually, and just think, they didn't know anybody was filming them. This was before these police cams, these body cams. This was before all of that. They had no idea there was somebody back behind them done zoomed in on them recording this whole thing. They just thought it was, another a day in the life.
Yeah, so absolutely.
This video thing is different, man. As soon as you walk out your house, you better assume that you being videoed by your neighbor, by this street cam, Burger King, the car wash, I-35.
Absolutely. There's cameras everywhere. Hey, for those of y'all who are joining us, chat out in the comments. If y'all think Diddy, is it over with? Do y'all think he's able to get this off his plate? Y'all let us know, man. This thing that's going viral now with Diddy. For those of y'all who haven't seen it, with Diddy assaulting Cassie, this is what they set up for 30 million. This is just part of it. Y'all chat out in the comments. Tell me what you think. Y'all think that this was on Diddy? Was it on her? Or do y'all think this is over with? This is going to be the video that's going to steal his face? Let us know in the comments. This is the replay where we try to make you say the Sports Culture Show. Please hit that subscribe.
I got a question for you, Jabril.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Look, he's not dressed. Like he had to grab a towel to run after her. She's fully dressed. Think about this. He would have had to either be in the shower and she said, "This is my time to break," or sleep for him to let her get that far almost to that elevator, and he didn't have any clothes on. Because
Right.
if she was trying to go and packing up and he didn't want her to go as hard as he's showing that he didn't want her to go, she would have never got out that door. So I'm thinking she tried to make a getaway while he was either showering or was in that
Well,
bed.
well, from my understanding, what they was talking about earlier, that he was supposed to have been laying in the bed. How they know? That's just nothing. Why I feel like whatever CNN leaked out and got that information, they already was able to read the deposition or whatever was in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not for public consumption right now, but they know behind the scenes because they was talking about it. They said he had actually been asleep as she was, I guess, preparing to make her move, and he woke
Yes,
up.
that's I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I just noticed video. He just grabbed a towel and realized she was, he woke up or came out the shower, realized she was gone, and he grabbed a towel and say, "Let me go see where, catch her." So
yeah. I thought
it
like
was a
you.
jailbreak. She was making a break, a run for it.
She was making a move. I thought like you did. I thought he was just actually coming out of the shower, but they say he was supposed to have been asleep or something, and he just heard the door open, and he jumped up, and so, which also make because they said he supposed to have attacked her first and gave her black eye
And
inside the
then she
room.
tried to
So I'm
sneak out.
wondering, like, did he try to make it? Did he pull a baby boy on us? You remember in the movie Baby Boy when he actually when Taraji P Henson was playing a part and he slapped her on the eye and then took her to the bedroom and tried to make love.
Yeah, made
You know,
up.
because the
Yeah,
man jumped up and he butt naked and got to grab a towel,
yeah.
and then go chase her down the hallway. She's trying to make her move. Man, I just,
And he wasn't. Think about it. Think about it. He wasn't apologetic when he went and got her. He wasn't like, "Oh, please, baby, hey, where you going? No, come on." He wasn't no, "Hey, don't do this. Let's talk about it. I'm sorry." It was like, "Where you going? Be blah blah. Pow, kick, drag, man, man."
yeah, yeah,
Just
man.
imagine that being one of your loved ones, man. Your mom, your sister, your aunt. Just man.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Think
man.
about that.
I mean, again, um, I don't know, when, don't really know how, but they're gonna answer. They're going to get to the why. Why do these things happen? And these individuals again, who thought they had all this power, man, in
You don't
Hollywood,
have it.
doing these things behind closed doors.
No, you
You don't
don't
have.
have it like that.
Hey, man, God sees everything. God
Yeah,
sees everything. And when you think you're gonna get away with something, you're not. Because even if you get away with it in this life, you're still gonna be held accountable for it in the next
right.
life. Those are just the facts. So,
Yeah.
you're just being tried. We all are. We've been tried and tested, man. We've been tried and tested. I had a guy, I commented when when it first happened about the raid and everything. Me having a definitely idea how this go. You can do. I'm not. That's not what I read out of a freaking book. Who you think you're talking to, man?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you want me to break this all the way down for you, I will. This ain't nothing I got out of no book. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna go. Real talk.
Hmm.
So understand. These people work like that. CNN just didn't get that from the hotel. They say, okay, drop this for public consumption. And guess what? It's some more people that's shaking in their boots in Hollywood, man.
Right.
Now it just depends on, as I said before, what you do in the privacy of your own home. They can't make a case out of that. What they're looking for is something like pandering things, or they have underage, girls at these parties in these secret rooms and all this other stuff. Was people being violated or being drugged
Yeah.
at parties and raped? That's why they
Right.
went and arrested the white boy they were talking about. They had the ecstasy and all that down in Miami. Which is ironic when you think about it, because down there in Miami, that's where you see a lot of these drug things going on, these strip clubs and and these other entertainment places and stuff like that. A lot of drugs that's circulating throughout. They've done movies on this kind of stuff. If you look at the movie Bad Boy, they were trying to take these drugs off the streets. That they was putting in people drinks and all this kind of stuff. So you got a big mansion down there in Miami where you have boat parties, yacht parties, and all this other stuff. All this stuff is going down.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's just a matter of what they gonna find on the video. So you can listen. I love God. This ain't no. You ain't more popular than God. I don't care who you are. You're not more popular than God. See,
Man, I actually think I think Miami should almost be the new Sin City. You know, they say it's Vegas because of the gambling, but there's some stuff that go down in Miami that they ain't even Vegas can't even touch.
No, Vegas can't even touch. But DA, it probably is the new Sin City. It probably is the new Sin City, and that's the reason why I say God is sorting it out. So you can't play with God. God is not to be mocked. You can't be on the fence, and then you sitting here, you double dutching back and forth and all. Listen, you speaking this, but you're doing this behind closed doors. That's one of the things that we know, man. In Islam, it's like do not enjoin on the people something that you don't practice yourself. So if this is who you really are, stay on that side of the fence, because God gonna sort it all out. So these individuals, like I say, man, you going around there, man, you violating all type of human laws and so forth, man. This is the day of sorting out. You either gonna be on the left side or you're gonna be on the right side. All this want to be politically correct and love who you want to love and all that. See, love don't build nations. I tell people this all the time. Intellect is what builds nations. Show a man a set of blueprints and tell this man to go build that building and see if he'll build that building on his emotion. No, he may be passionate about the work, but he got to apply intellect.
Yeah.
Because emotions don't build nations, man. It don't. Right. So understand, man, these people are being retarded. They're being dehumanized. They're being relegated, man. Less than, they're going off of all of their base urges. They're thinking below the waistline. They're not allowing their intellect, man, to precede them. And you're gonna see, and he ain't the only one. This ain't it, bro. I just don't think you're gonna. You remember the actor that came out? Now he all of a sudden got quiet. Somebody must have sent him a note. Because you remember Christian Keys, I think that was his name. He come out talking about
he was about to drop the bomb on somebody.
He was about to drop. Now he done got real quiet all of a sudden.
Ain't heard nothing from him.
I don't know if he got a memo or if they sent the jackals at him or whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is so much that's done in the dark, where these secret oaths are being made and taken, and they dressing up in these long cloaks and wearing these daggers and all this other stuff. But guess what? It's gonna get exposed, and I can't wait. To be honest with you, I can't wait. So you can see your favorite artist, so to speak, to be exposed, because you can't live a double life like that. You in front of these children, or whatever the case may be, like they did with Pee Wee Herman. If you remember back in the day, you out here doing this, man. One thing, making people, giving a person this image. But then you back doing this kind of foolishness. Again, don't enjoy on the people something that
it's like the Subway guy, Jared.
Yeah, Jared. Exactly.
Yeah, walking around smiling at Subway, put him on a pedestal. Hey, look at Jared. He lost so much weight just walking and eating our sandwiches behind closed doors. He a pedophile, creep.
Boy, you saying a mouthful, DA, and I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of these doggone. Look, man. Look, I tell my own children. I said, you know why I don't have tattoos? I don't have earrings. Don't have none of that stuff. And I feel proud as a father. So when I'm saying it to you all, I'm a living proof. Again, I don't enjoy something on you all that I don't practice myself. Right. You understand? I said, so I try to live by that example. You don't have to worry about, with Dad, you doing it too. See, I think that's
right.
Yes, you've been a hypocrite. You've been a hypocrite when you try to, enjoy on something, you're not even practicing yourself. So yeah, if you're sitting around here, man, messing with little kids, you a pedophile, you got stuff on your computer and all this other stuff, and you trying to market and sell me something to go eat, go to a place to eat. You understand? Come on, man. This is a spiritual warfare, brother. Yeah. We're in a spiritual warfare. It's about the mind. They want to take over the mind, the social consciousness. If they can ruin that, knock that out, say, man, they gonna have you reforming, subscribing to cretinism, retardating your mind, going back to really having those animalistic instincts, or you ain't even using your rational thinking anymore. Period. Lies the problem, man. So I'm not here to, I'm not trying to crucify nobody. I'm not trying to say
this is what it is, man. This is
what it is.
It's actually the opposite of crucifying him, because he's been doing this for decades and just got away with it. So it's actually the opposite of that.
For those of you who are coming on who haven't seen the video, we're showing the video with P. Diddy and Kate, Cassie, excuse me, and this is some of the footage they dropped by CNN. You know, him coming out of the bathroom, man, kicking the young lady, throwing her to the ground. This young girl weighs about 118 pounds. And I just don't, because if that was my daughter, man, Diddy would be, I'm talking about, if they don't get to him, I'm going to get to him. That's just
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah, man.
I'd risk it.
Like I say, man, they are not more popular than God. They're not, and you know what? This has been a long, ongoing problem, man, with us as human beings. We have put these individuals up on a pedestal and made them like demigods. You understand, like a derogation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's and we have almost replaced this demigod serving the demigod and not serving the creator of the demigod, right? So I always talk about serving the creator and not the creation. And we make a big mistake. And this is what went on, man. All through scripture, you'll find out. People serving people, man, and putting these people on pedestals, man, and making them more popular than God. And you hear the word, you hear the language. You know, this is he an icon, she's an icon. Well, look up the word icon. You understand? So, you know, we got to change the narrative. We got to change the language. No, you have a gift that God blesses. I believe everybody with a gift. Some people gifts goes undeveloped. Other people reach and maximize their gifts and their talents. But the more, it's just like knowledge. The more knowledge you get, the more humble you should become.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, man, you got people, man, that they get souped up with ego, become very egotistical, and they don't think they have no one to answer to. But you keep doing what you're doing, and God will send a stronger message to you because he'll sit you down. And that's exactly what's happening, man. So, yeah, I don't have, it's very, very unfortunate, but I have a short tolerance for individuals who just take something so beautiful and they desecrate it. And that's anything. It could be the actual person, or it can be the talent that God gave you to reach the masses of the people.
Let me ask you this. You tell me if this is a thing or not. I don't know if it's in scripture. It just hit my brain like right this second. It seems to me like God will get you here. He's like, okay, like, you know, when he was first beginning, let's say he's first beginning and he got fired by Andre Harrell or whoever the guy was.
Right.
And then he goes over here and, you know, God blesses him with this position. It's like God is like, okay, I got you here. You know, now what? And God got him a certain level, and then Satan got him from here to here. Like God is like, well, you're not doing this the way I thought you should do it, or you should be doing it. This is not me getting you, you know, to be an idol, people to idolize you. That's Satan. Or who, you know, that's not my doing. So I got you here. You let somebody else take you to this, what you thought was a higher level, but it was actually a more detrimental level. You know, it's like people think when somebody goes all the way to the top, God got them all the way to the top. No, he I think he gets you to where, you know, you're humble, you're doing right by people. He gets you here. You keep doing right by people. You keep helping people. You keep serving. He'll take you higher. But when you get so high and then you forget about him and you start doing all these other things that get you there, you know, these dirty tactics to get you there, that ain't God taking you to that height. He's looking at you, but he's like, I didn't do that. You know, somebody else did that.
That's you. And you're absolutely right. That's when you start to see the downfall. Because remember, God is always in the testing business. We're being tested every day. We're being tested with something, you know, some type of gain, some type of fortune, some type of adversity. All of it. This life is a training ground. It's a spiritual training ground. You know, you hear people say it all the time that we are spiritual creatures having a human experience. It's just a training ground. We come in this life by God's permission, and we will exit this life by God's permission. We're not to be here forever. Everybody has an appointed term. And the thing about death, man, it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't discriminate. It has no, and it never takes a day off. It don't discriminate because you 2 years old or 50 years old or 100 years old. Death is just death. And when God sends the death angel, That's just what it is. So meanwhile, in this whole thing we call life, you get so much of life in between. It's not how we start, but how we finish. So when some good or good fortune do happen, now comes the test. Because it's gonna see, because this word we talk about Illa is your idol worship. It's the very thing that anything that you have on your mind that you give more focus to, more so than the creator, it becomes what they call your Illa. You start to serve it. Like you can believe in your own image. That's where they get the story of Gnosticism from. The boy who fell in love with himself. This is Greek mythology. He fell in love with his own image. Narcissism, right? So he began to become lover of self. And this is the biggest problem with a lot of people when they start looking in the mirror and start becoming, in love with self. Instead of giving us again the praise and the glory to the Most High, the Creator, right? You give it to the creation as opposed to giving it to the creator. So when God bless you with something, it should continue to make you humble, and you need to give back and then pay it forward. But a lot of times we don't do that. We start believing in our own manufactured ideas and creation, thinking that we did this on our own. So God will leave you on your own. He'll say, okay, I brought you this far. I'm gonna let you go ahead and I'm gonna give you some rope. And you're gonna continue to use that rope and use that rope and use that rope and use that rope until either one or two things happen. You get yourself, let me put it like this. In the scripture, it says it like this: when trouble touches a man or a woman, he or she lies on their stomach and they lie on their side and they ask for God's help, praying on all kind of ways. They prayed and asked God to remove this from them. But as soon as God moves it from them, they go on their very way as if they never asked God for nothing at all.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And this is the problem with people, man. This is the problem with a lot of people. They've started believing their own clippings, their own headline. I remember Coach Rapper Taylor used to talk to us about in high school, man, in football. He started talking about being a prima donna. First time I ever heard the word prima donna. And he used to always talk about this word prima donna, not being a prima donna. What he talked about was not, reading the clippings of those who are writing and authoring these things, and you fall in love with the clipping, but you forget to go play the damn game. Well, that's like life. You forget to go play the game of life. So, when we look at things like this that happened, Diddy started from a humble beginning way back when he was going to DC. He had a real good hustle within himself. But listen, man, when you start transitioning and you get a little bit of taste of wealth and all this other kind of stuff, you start believing your own clippings. You be falling to that prima donna mindset, and these are the things that happen. Hey, I want to welcome Sherry, man. Sherry say speak now. She's a long time follower, man. Sherry been on us.
What's up,
Sherry? Absolutely. We're talking about the P. Diddy situation. What happened, man, was going viral, man, on CNN. I truly believe that these are the authorities. People can say what they want to say, because you got to ask yourself the question, how did they even get the tape anyway? This happened in 2016. This is one of the reasons why I say, because what I know, not what I've read, what I've heard, I'm telling you from what I know. I know the maneuver and the tactics of these people. They try to get public consumption first, the same way they did with Michael Jackson, with R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein and a host of others.
Bill Cosby
first. Yeah, Bill Cosby. Absolutely. This is one of their strong tactics, to build you up in the public eye, and they try to kill you by public consumption first before they put down an indictment. That's the only way CNN got this information. They leaked it to the press. Hey, give them a little bit. And guess what? They're not done. Whoever was with Diddy doing all these things, like who was that said? I think it was my guy, Lil Boosie or Boosie. Boosie said, man, where's all them people now? What they at now? That was partying with him and doing all this kind of stuff. Well, guess what? They getting back because they know they're too close to the fire.
Yeah, they don't know what they got.
No, they don't know what they're too close to the fire, and it's happening, man. I'm telling you. It just depends on which way they want to go with this in the indictment clause, because they're not trying to make a sexual case. They listen, you got to follow the money. They don't care nothing about who you sleep with in your bed in the privacy of your own home. They get into the money. They trying to find out, okay, were there any money laundering? Were there any drug dealers going, human trafficking, whatever the case may be, before they build their case. Okay, so again, I don't know who's advising him legally, but I'm going back to what I said earlier about Eric Snowden. Eric Snowden was a smart white boy. And once he dropped that in and put that in the mail and leaked that to the press, he was out of here. He was already in Russia trying to, gain citizenship. And I'm just telling you, man, this does not look good. It doesn't look good for Diddy, man. It just doesn't look good for him. You know, so again, I'm gonna show
you can visualize it all you want, but until you see it, that's when it really sinks in. Like it was like when I saw the video, it was like I had never heard anything about it before in my life. It was still just, no matter who this was, that was awful. And it just happened to be P. Diddy. But I was
yeah,
like,
for those of you who are just still coming
awful.
on, you hadn't seen the video, we're gonna show the video one more time. This is Cassie coming down the hallway, and you're gonna see Diddy running out with a towel around the place, man. And he just, like I say, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming as Mr. Fury was walking out, following her down the hallway, and he was yelling, pulling her. Of course, he probably cursing her out right there. You don't have no sound to it, but one can only imagine. And she's still trying to get to the, he said, I'm telling you to get your butt back in this room. You know, he kicks her, drags her. Yeah, I just
can't imagine what she went through at his home.
I heard something I don't even want to repeat right now, you know, as far as what I thought he made Cassie do it, but they said he made Kim Porter do it to Cassie, so to speak. Now it's so I just, when I saw it, I said, no, I'm not going to even bring that part up, man. But this is the retardation of the mindset in certain people, man. This is how they have lost, you know, their humanness. Their humanness, man. And so you become desensitized because you drunk on your own power, man, and or what limited power that you do have, man. So we'll see in the days to come, DA. I had to jump on here, this evening, man, to talk about this thing, man, because it went viral earlier today. And I said, we missed on yesterday, man. I just could not miss this opportunity today. So we'll see how this goes, man, and see if I'm accurate in what I'm kind of suspecting, man, and we shall see. So we gotta segue right quick, man, before we wrap this thing up. But we got to get into these Dallas Mavericks right quick, man. I want to talk about what happened over the weekend with the Dallas Mavericks. They went out there and did their thing. This is just a game from game 3, but we're talking about the Dallas Mavericks right now. The Dallas Mavericks going to go ahead and close this series out. DA, they backs was against the wall, and again, Luka came through, man. Luka came through the way he should have against all odds, and he delivered a triple-double. So what do you think? I know you call him bouncy boy and all that.
I think he actually forgot about the referees and whining to the refs. Like I was saying, man, if he just stopped whining about every play call, every bump, and just play basketball. I told you, I say Jabril, he can get 40 injured if he would just focus on playing and then stop thinking about the refs. Just go out there and ball. Like Joker. Joker go out there and he just ball. He's just gonna ball. He don't care. Like he's just gonna ball. He might talk to the ref, but he's not gonna be whining and crying after every play. And he did that. He did his part. Like he didn't. Kyrie was just out there. Okay, if y'all need me, I'm here. He did his part. He did his thing, and that was the difference. He was the difference in that game.
Absolutely. I think it was, he did what superstars would do, man. You got to have a signature win when your team is needed, because he didn't do anything in game with a game 3. He didn't do anything in that game. Neither did Kyrie. But for his back to be against the wall, to go on the road, man, in a hostile environment in Oklahoma City, and to come out with a triple-double where he dropped 30, 10, and 10, that's what superstars do. That's what you expect.
Yeah. And you got to do that away.
Sometimes. Yeah, you got to do it. I mean, on the road. And they thinking, you got the Mavericks by 4 anyway on tomorrow. And there's a possibility that they'll go back to Oklahoma. I don't see it. I just don't see it. And the reason why I don't see it is because Kyrie's statement of they're going to be ready and so shall we. And he has said something to that effect going on the road. And Kyrie still haven't had his best series.
Yeah, he ain't.
So imagine if he explode for 30 and Luka get 30, it's over with. Yeah. It's over with. I just believe that it's over with. There's no way you're gonna stop these boys, man.
Yeah, they don't have the experience to deal with the Mavericks and just get one or two of these other role players going, like Jones Jr. or PJ, and then Mavs just have a better team. Ain't no way they should be losing to OKC. OKC has some talented young guys, but they ain't got they got young dogs, but they don't have those. Maverick has those in
They
they
lack that
prime type,
experience too.
dogs.
Yeah,
OKC will get there another year or two, but
yeah, yeah.
and
They
the
lack that
trade,
experience.
man, we can't talk enough about the trade. It just
Well,
gave
that trade was
Dallas exactly what
was
they
phenomenal.
needed, some toughness. They needed some toughness and somebody who's gonna block a shot, dunk on you, protect the rim, you know, protect the players.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
don't bow down, don't cower to no Russell Wilson. I mean, not Wilson,
Russell
Russell
Westbrook.
Westbrook, and
Yeah.
man, that's what they needed. That's
Yeah,
what they needed.
absolutely. I agree, man. And they got that. That's the reason why I say I have the Dallas Mavericks and the Denver Nuggets, man. And we're gonna talk about the Denver Nuggets in just a second, but I have the Dallas Mavericks definitely in the Western Conference Final. They got everything they need. I said it once, I said it twice. This was gonna come down to coaching. And if you notice, Jason Kidd did something that I thought was real important. A lot of people not talking about it, but Kyrie spoke about it at his post game comments or interview when he asserted Hardy into the game, the young guard. I thought that was phenomenal. People, well, he didn't do that much. No, you're missing the whole point. If he can go in there and just get you some touches, just get you a little bang, spell Kyrie for just a minute or for a couple of minutes, 3, 5, 6, 7 minutes. That's what you want to have happen because he have those young legs. So when Jason Kidd did that, I said to myself, man, now that's coaching right
He
there.
made a move. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I said that's coaching. He did exactly what you should have did because when you get past the third game, everybody knows pretty much your offensive session, what you're trying to do, what you want to do. What
Yeah.
other adjustments can you make? You got to go deep into your rotation now. So they wasn't used to seeing Hardy, but Hardy came in and gave them solid minutes though, and that's what you need in a
Man, they
swing.
have a good team, man. Top to bottom. They have some dudes that can come in and that you might not know about or heard about. And they'll drop 12, 14 points on you and some superstar dunks that you ain't that can mess your psyche up. So that's what
Sure
they got.
can. Sure can, absolutely. So let's go over to the Wolves now. Minnesota Timberwolves, they came howling back, man. They came howling back. Total blowout, 45 points, man. Give it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They tied the series up by defeating the Denver Nuggets 115-70. 115-70. Uh, so what do you think, man? We got a game 7 now. We got a game 7. Who do you like in that game 7?
I gotta I put it to you this way. If that game were played in Minnesota, I would think a little deeper on it about who I would almost lean toward Minnesota if it were played in Minnesota because Ant-Man has his head together. He's like, I'm going to go forward. Y'all come with me. I'm going forward. But Denver, um, I think, it's like when I watched that entire game and it's like Jamal Murray just some games just can't get going, man. He just
Yeah.
disappears. Like, and when
Well,
he
how much
does
do
that,
how much
they
do
don't win.
Ant-Man have to do with that though? I think Ant-Man got a lot to do with that.
He may have a lot to do with it, but usually Jamal can get his shot on anybody, but he just missed and missed and missed and missed. You know what I'm saying? When
Right.
when the Joker don't have him, it ain't a 1-2 punch, and he can't. He needs Murray. If Murray comes out slow, they might be in trouble.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. I heard a lot of people was going with Denver, and I'm not saying. Listen, I am definitely saying it, but I'm not confident in what I'm saying at all
Yeah,
about Denver. I
yeah,
get it,
ain't a
but
slam
I
dunk.
told him. I said this here. I said this is like March Madness because
Yeah,
now it's only one game,
yeah.
and in a March Madness college game,
Anything can happen. You flip that
anything
coin.
can happen. Anything can go, man. You know what I mean?
Man, Minnesota catch fire. And
What you
they've
talking
already
about?
done it. They've already shown it's different if they hadn't won there. But they
Yeah,
showed your crowd don't mean nothing to us. Like we got some
I'm trying to tell you.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm trying to tell you. So this thing can go anyway. So if the Wolves were to pull this off, man, knock these boys off, man, it's gonna set. I think it's gonna set the table for a really, really good Western. Either way, I think if the Mavericks can go ahead and put these boys to bed on tomorrow, man, don't play around. Come out, man. Don't give up this game the way they gave it up. The game before in Dallas, when they should have really won that game had they made their free throws. Come out tomorrow.
That's free throw.
Come out tomorrow with an edge, man, and let's go to work. Let's put these boys out their misery, and let's get on, get a little bit of rest, and let's go on and get on down with this Western Conference final and get ready to face the one out of Minnesota and the Denver Nuggets. So, DA, I got to switch this up, man. Come up on the last topic right here, man. Let's go over to this question. We didn't get a chance to get into this regarding the NFL versus the NBA. And I had this thing up that says, let's switch. Let's switch. I had this thing up with Patrick Mahomes and Steph Curry, because this whole thing was started by Austin Rivers talking about there are 30 NBA players that could play football, and there was none playing football that could play in the NBA. I'm just showing little highlights of last year's All-Star. Well, back in February, Michael Parsons on the basketball court was playing basketball. I wanted to talk about this, man, because it was interesting because Austin Rivers started having some words between him and James Jones, who's on I forget the talk show right now, but he's on the show, and they had a little back and forth about NFL players playing in the NBA and the NBA players playing in the NFL. So I'm gonna go ahead and get your take on this first. What do you think, man? Could any NFL players play in the NBA right now, or do you think Austin Rivers was correct in his assessment?
I think the number is what I don't agree with. 30 players that could do it. And then I thought about that for a week, man. Like, okay, would it be easier? Would it be easier for an NBA player to pick up, even the ones that played football before? How long would it take them to transition to play in the NFL? What would it take? And some of those that are specialists in the NFL, is it easier to go out and put on some? I kind of think it's almost easier to put on some sneakers and go out there and hoop it up a little bit. You might not have that basketball stamina where you can just go up and down the court.
Sure.
But you can go box out. You can get a rebound. You can dunk it back. You can hit a free throw. You can hit a layup. But to go out there and guard a Jamar Chase, or you go out there and block a Michael Parsons when you've been playing basketball, man, I think you got more of those specialists in the NFL, man. I think it's harder I think it would be much harder for an NBA player to convert over to football. That's my opinion.
Well, you know what? I know it's not NBA, NFL talk, but I can only just go back to my high school days. I know I could have played Division I college basketball just because when I was at UTEP, man, like I said, we used to be when I left high school, my sophomore year, Coach Smith had put me up on varsity. Didn't get no run because downtown it was their senior year. If you remember Johnny Fuller and Ricky Grace and them. But my junior year, I'm bagging up Ricky Grace at the point guard. Myself, Ricky Dixon, Wes Mercado King. But they was a year ahead of me. But I was on the football field and the basketball field. And what I can say is this: when I was on the football field, it was easier because I didn't have no ball in my hand. I didn't have to worry about facilitating. All I was doing was reacting more so than anything to the flow of the play because I played defensive back. So it was me reacting to the flow of the play. When I got to college, we would have intramural runs. So it would be Tim Hardaway. It'll be Antonio Davis, who played with the Indiana Pacers, Greg Foster, who played in the league for a while, Utah Jazz, Chicago Bulls, a couple other UTEP players. And then it would be myself, Tony Toe, who played with the Dallas Cowboys, Seth Joyner, linebacker, Philadelphia Eagles, would come back. And we would run. I'm talking about we would have good runs, man. I'm talking about to the point to where dudes asking me, like, say, yo, why you don't go out for UTEP, man? Why you don't play? And my thought was always one, it was already hard as heck trying to just stay eligible,
Yeah.
trying to stay eligible. You taking 15 hours a semester. And then plus they had Tim Hardaway at the point guard. They had another guy named Prince Stewart that was out of Kentucky that was at the guard position too. And it just would have just been like, nah, I didn't come here to play. I came here, I signed on this football scholarship. That's what I wanted to do. The transition for me, again, was easier going from basketball to the football field. But it was a little difficult going from the
No, Jabril, you're looking at that wrong. You were a football player.
Not well, it depends on who you ask, though. Depending on who you ask. I know some people. You ask Devin. Ask Devin. Devin brother Mike Richardson. Devin Richardson speaking about Kamal. His brother Mike. He don't want to hear nothing about me playing football. He said, I don't care what none of y'all say. I should have played basketball.
Really?
Yeah, you got people.
I guess I'm saying that because you didn't play.
But think about it this way. For me to give up football my sophomore year in high school to stick with basketball, because that was more of a Smith doing. Because he said, I got to have you in my program year round. I'm a 14, 15-year-old kid. I don't know, but I knew I loved playing basketball just the same.
I didn't know that, and I was there. I didn't even remember. I didn't know that you had to choose one.
Yeah, this was my sophomore year. I didn't even play. I would have been on varsity in football. There was 3 freshmen that was going to varsity, myself, Anthony Wright, and Quentin Richardson. Them two played their sophomore year at Hutch. They played varsity, just like, and I was supposed to go play varsity, but I quit my sophomore year to just stick with basketball, which was a crazy choice at the time. But you got some people, like I say, when I was you didn't see a lot of the game when I was in 4th, 5th, 6th grade, man. But again, I'm talking about from my experience, because you look at Allen Iverson right up in Virginia. Everybody knows when he was on that football field, the dude, like he said, he didn't want to play basketball. His mom made him play basketball because most of his friends was out there on the football field. He would cry. He would literally cry when she was taking him to basketball practice. You know, and Allen Iverson said when Michael Vick got drafted, he wanted everybody to see what it would have been had he played football. You know, Mike Vick is from the Virginia area too, from the same area. So he said that's what he felt like it would have been had he stuck with football. So you know, I played it, and again, it was easy. I think in terms of going from the football field to the basketball field, even though we was the running eagle, we just ran. But I believe if you had to learn a lot of the plays that was being implemented, I think it would have been different. It just would have, because on the football field, you just really react. Now, I will say in terms of what Austin Rivers said, in terms you just catch the ball, turn it. No. First of all, you're talking. I believe if you got the will to do anything, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. Because Tony Gonzalez could have played, I believe, basketball. He could have played football. There are players that could have done it. But you're talking about 2 different body types, or styles, or whatever the case may be. It's just different. It's different. And a lot of guys don't make it on the gridiron, because when you get them first pops, that first one, that second, that third, and fourth, and over, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's not like basketball. Like they was talking about earlier, guys flopping in basketball, man, and won't even take contact. So you don't tell me.
That's my point.
Yeah, man. That's my point. Get hit by this dude that's 100 and, you know, I mean, this dude that's 260 pounds, and he got, I mean, it's a license to assault another person, and he's trying to take your head off, literally trying to take your head off. Nah, it's different, bro. You ain't going after Austin Rivers, because when they send you on the run that end route over the middle, you're not gonna last. They're gonna sit on you just because of the statement that you made. Trust me, that ain't what you want. That ain't what you want, brother. That ain't what you want. So again, I just think he's half right and half wrong. But again, when these type of conversation comes up, I just think it's all about your will. And I believe if a person got into shape, just like when Michael Jordan went to baseball, he had to get in baseball shape, because it's different than basketball. He had to get in shape. So I think if you know, there are some players who can, you know, I believe if you give them time, like the Antonio Gates, or I just mentioned Tony Gonzalez. There are a few players I think that could have made the NBA transition, and played that power forward position. Hell, look at Charles Barkley. There were some guys out there on that football field with just as agile, just as flexible, just as, you know what I'm saying, that could have played if they would have put their mind to it. So it's just a matter of will. Just a matter of will. So, but anyway, DA, that's going we're coming up on there. It's going to conclude, man, this particular topic. But I want to give my shout out. I don't know if you got any shout outs you want to give out, but I got to give a shout out to this young man, man. I'm going to tell you something. I was so proud of him this past weekend, man. He did his thing. You know, get a shout out to my youngest son. There he is, man. Khalil Rashad. He was going to his prom, man, and I'm shouting him out, man. Proud of him. That's my baby boy. That's it. That's all I got.
That's high school prom, right?
That's high school prom. Yeah. You know, he got a 3.7 GPA. He's gonna finish up getting
his. That's what you need to be proud of, right there.
I'm proud of him, man. Good young man.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's gonna be getting his associates, man, from San Jack, and then he'll transfer to the business entrepreneur class up at the University of Houston later on. But this was him at his prom, man, and that's his date right there, Miss Heidi. He's doing his thing, man. He's 6'2",
and decent. They dress decently too. That's what I like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he almost 6'3", man. 6'2.5", man.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah, man. And he was playing basketball, man. But he said, Dad, I think I just want to stick with the academics and get into business and stuff. I said, man, I'm proud of you, son. So I want to shout him out, man.
And I'm shouting him out too. God.
Yeah. So again, man, I mean, we jumped on this thing, and you got anything anybody you want to shout out? Are you good?
Let me think real quick. Shout
out TJ, man.
Shout out TJ, man, wherever he is, man. What he doing? Man. I just knew he was gonna be on tonight. What he doing, man? He need a permission slip when he come back. This ain't no special edition.
Right. Well, that's going to conclude, man, another episode on the replay where we try to make you guys today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, and share button as well as that notification button. Like I said, we on 1 or 2 times out of the week on Mondays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So again, we want to thank y'all for hopping on with us. This has been the replay where we try to make your day. Again, always keep God first, and we're going to see y'all on Monday. Go Mavs. Let's take these boys out, man, so we can get on to the Western Conference.
Yeah, we'll see y'all Monday for that Game 7, Mavs and OKC.
Absolutely. I hear my brother. I hear you. I hear you, DA. All right, we back in touch, man. Thank y'all for
that in there. Can't believe you let me slide that in there.